honestly, the problem, I am enjoying this music. Sorry, I'm enjoying this music way too much. Vic, welcome. Wow. I am pretty surprised to see Vic here. Is that better on volume, Dream Girly? I'm pretty surprised to see Vic here. Vic is not a huge stream watcher, so thank you for joining us, Vic. Very nice of you. Dream Girly, welcome. Conan, welcome. I'm Weesh. Hey Naveed, can't stay and watch. I popped by to say have a great stream. Enjoy the build and chat. Thank you very much. Rye, welcome. Ray? Rye? Ray. Sinister, welcome. Aaron, we got pictures in the Discord now. Alright, let me see what pictures are in the Discord. What do we got? I see no pictures. Oh, those pictures. That's funny. Gigi Jumanji, okay, so for those that don't know, Gigi Jumanji, that's my wife. This is her first time saying hello in the chat, but that's the dear wifey coming in to support, so thank you, wifey. Very much appreciated. And now you're slightly more than the music. Okay, let me see. We'll bring the music down a bit. Let's do that. Okay. Alright, how's that? Hope that's a bit better. Brought the music down just a bit, and the voice should be a good amount higher. Hopefully that's good. Okay. Matt, welcome. Platty, welcome. We got a good crew today. Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. Alright. So, a couple things to start things out. One, you guys may have noticed, or maybe not, but I made affiliate yesterday, so thank you to, I guess, everyone who shows up. There's like a whole bunch of requirements that you have to hit in order to make it, and I did, so appreciate everyone for showing up. I don't actually know a whole lot about this. Naveed, Aaron is bullying me. Vic, you better watch yourself or I'll mod you too, and then you'll be responsible for all of this. So I brought the advertising settings as low as I could, but I'm still learning how this stuff works. So hopefully it's like not that intrusive, but we'll see. I also got my first sub yesterday. So thank you, Rufus, for that. I'm pretty sure Rufus did it to troll me, at least a little bit, because in Discord, I was basically having a whole conversation about how I actually didn't want subs. Like I wasn't doing this to make money, at least not now, not yet. And I wanted to figure out if I could turn off the sub button, but it turns out you can't. So thank you, Rufus. I appreciate that, man. I really did not think that would happen at all, so I appreciate the support. I don't even know if he's here, but maybe if he watches the VOD, you'll see it later. Okay, so today is a sponsored stream. Okay, thank you, Vic. Vic also subbed at tier 1. Thank you. This is I guess I'll get to it now. Did I want to do this now? Might as well. So just as a couple disclaimers. So one, I started doing this because a couple friends on a different server asked me to stream my collection, and I did it, and it was a lot of fun, and that was probably the main reason I started thinking about it. Reason number 2 is that my friend Mikey was super encouraging and was like, hey, you should do it. I think you'd be good. And reason number 3 is obviously free keyboards. But those are the reasons of importance for me. So the first one is hanging out with friends, actually hanging out with you guys. I really enjoy this. The second one is Mikey's encouragement. And then the third one is the free keyboards. Now, the reason the free keyboards is third is because I already buy a lot of keyboards and I already have a lot of keyboards. So like more is good, but I'm not, crying because I lack the clickety-clack. Now, another disclaimer I wanted to make about how I look at boards, because this is a sponsored stream. We're going to be looking at a board, the NV70, that's in Group Buy right now. And this is the first one. It's the first time, at least here, we're doing a sponsored stream. And I wanted to talk about how I look at keyboards. Free Keyboards is based. I'm crying because I lack my Matrix baby. So for those that don't know, Vic is a notorious Matrix addict. She recently got her dream board, which is the 2.0 ad, I think. And she just signed up for the carnival. She's like hopelessly in love. I fell out of love with the noose, but that's a whole different story. We'll leave that. So going back to my approach, the way I look at boards. Welcome, Keebdweeb. Thanks for joining. So I'm not the pickiest person. I'm fairly easy to please. I do like foam. I prefer if my keyboards don't force me into foam, which is why I always start off with no foam. So I don't mind the foamy sound, but I prefer the non-foam clean clack. That's my preference. But when I say I'm not picky, one of the things I'm also talking about is like when it comes to finish, when it comes to imperfections, like I'm just not that picky. I'm kind of notorious for appreciating value boards. And so just the sort of idea or the price point, everything that's behind these GDK boards is kind of in my sweet spot. And so I am going to be a lot more forgiving about boards that I find are good value, simply because of that. Wow, okay, Aaron, thank you. This is like, thank you. I feel bad because like I don't want you guys to spend any money on this and on me. This is for fun. It's not for a living or anything. So, all right. Founder badge secured. I don't even know what that is. You guys are gonna have to educate me. Wait, what is this TKL on your desk? So this is the DK1 TKL. So this is actually Alex's DK1. So I won this off the Alex Otos giveaway like 5-6 months ago. And this one here, which is behind, is the KV1 65. So I have 3 out of the 4 boards that they've done in this room, these 2 plus the NV. I brought them out so we can take a look at them and kind of get a feel for their past work before we go into this new board. Yeah, GDK, TK, DK1, I'm a bit behind. Keep Science, thanks for joining, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, no worries. Man, I feel bad working on a Saturday. That's rough. The Kim Jong-un. The real question is XT columns, function keys, or artisan tray? Ooh, I don't have I think my take on this is not going to be a popular one. So my first pseudo XT board was the Polygon 7, and I still have it. It's over there, and it had those little XT columns on both sides, and I can't. What happens is I reach for the escape, and I always kind of reach too far, and it messes with me. So what I want to do, which I have not yet done, but I will do it eventually, is actually buy a whole stack of low profile keycaps. And what I plan to do is turn all of my future XTs into a low profile column, so I don't accidentally bump into them. I get that it's a skill issue, but it's my skill issue, and we love it, and we're okay with it. So unfortunately, it is neither. It is neither function. Now, in terms of what I would actually do with it, I would just program it into the function row, so it would be F1 through whatever. But I don't use it because, you know, I've habitually gotten... Okay, we have another sub, Conan. Thank you, bro. Oh, God. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Please do not renew. I appreciate the gesture. This is very kind of you. I don't know what a hype train is. So I see sparkles and it says level 1 complete. I don't actually know what any of that means. I should probably pay more attention when I watch other people's streams, but I'm usually doing like 4 things at once. Mage from CAF, hello, welcome. Is he super quiet? Okay. I can bring my mic up a bit more. Is this better? Here. Alright, so my mic is now maxed. Oh, you know what? Okay. I run into this problem every single time because my whole stream setup is not permanent because this is my office. I work in here. And what actually happens is that when I unplug the main mic, for whatever reason, the input gets cranked down. Yeah, so it did it again. So the input got cranked down to like 80-90%. Hold on. Let's do this gently. All right, so I cranked the input up to 100, and then I'm gonna, with software, bring it down a bit. So hopefully this is a bit better, much better. Okay. Wonderful. Okay, nice. All right, I gotta catch up. So, when people spend money, it can activate a hype train. But what is a hype train? I don't even know what that is. It's just marketing shit to get people to give money to streamers and Twitch, like subs and bits. Okay. Got it. I'm just gonna spend my free Amazon Twitch subs on you and Mikey. Give it to Mikey, man. That dude is actually trying to like make a living out of this. Like, give it to Mikey for sure. I think if you go through Newfie and get the LP switches specifically for the kick, I have them. I actually have the Newfie ones, because funny enough, I like Newfie, even though I'm into custom keyboards, like I find Newfie fun, so I have a couple. Maybe we'll do that in an impromptu stream. Okay, I lowered it too much. This is, okay. You know what, we're just gonna crank it, and if it's too much, you guys will tell me. Finley, welcome, thanks for joining, man, I appreciate it. Finley in the house. Yeah, Finley's a goat. He's been around. Okay, so getting back to the build, let me look at, okay, covered this. I have an agenda. I wrote an agenda, and I'm following my agenda because I want to make sure I hit everything. Where was I? Okay, my view on boards, lack of pickiness. So, like, I think I kind of closed it, but just to, like, finish it off, I get critical on certain things. For me, a lot of things are pass-fail, and I will get much more critical when boards get super pricey. But in this range, I'm a lot more forgiving. And frankly, I've noticed that I actually don't pick up on things that other people pick up on. So, like, there are some people, like Maury and Shylocutus, that are hypersensitive. And, like, when it comes to switches, for example, they'll pick up on, like, the smallest little tick, and it just gets to them. I think I'm tick blind. Like, a lot of these like smaller things and problems I don't really hear, and it doesn't really affect me. So it takes quite a bit for a board to not be okay with me, or for me to really not like a board. Except for the Noose, that piece of shit board. Like, imagine I'm telling you this. I'm telling you that I'm not picky and a lot of no, doesn't bother. And the Noose is so bad. Hi. Yes, I know. Hi, Mango. Thanks for joining. Okay, so, yeah, Finley. It was big. I mean, I'm not going to sell it, though. I'm going to make the thing work. I'm going to turn it into a whole stream. And we're going to make that thing sound good enough. So guys, Fifi, this is Fifi. Fifi has been in a mood today. I took a shower because I wanted to be clean and fresh on camera. And I took a shower today, and she followed me into the bathroom, and she went onto the edge of the bathtub, and she's never done this before. While I'm showering, she's on the edge of the bathtub, and she's looking at me going, "Mah, mah," just like that. And so I kind of thought that I might have a hard time today, but then she left me alone for the last hour, but now she's back. So I don't actually know what to do. Yes, you're very sweet. You're very sweet. Yes, okay. Here, let's take a break. Okay. What is a hype chest? Hype train complete. I don't know what this is, guys. I don't know what's happening. Open the hype chest. Rewards confetti hype emote. I don't know what this is. Choo-choo? What do I do? Choo-choo? I don't understand. I'm rebuilding and lubing Alp switches with my two birds chilling on my shoulder. Yeah. I always wondered. Sometimes I join Alex's streams, and sometimes I'm in a social mood, and sometimes I just want to see the keyboard. And now I understand why he just kind of hangs out for the first like 10-15 minutes before jumping into things, because it's actually fun. Yeah, by the way, Mango, Mikey's okay. The fire was not his house or the next door neighbor. It was like a neighbor of a neighbor of a neighbor. Okay, Fifi. So let's get into this. The reason that we're all here is the NV70. Right now I have 2 GDK boards plus a cat on the table. My plan is, one, to take a very quick look at each of these boards, the current boards on the table, Plastic Bits, thanks for joining, the current boards on the table. We'll do a quick sound test, we'll take a look at the front and back, just a quick high-level aesthetic review. No, we're here for you. Thank you. I appreciate it. But Kibei did send me this board, and I do want to actually look at it. I've been pretty excited for this build, so we will do both. We will hang and we will build. Where was I? DK1, take a look at the boards with cat. So the way that I want to do things is we're going to build this together. We're going to make choices together. What that means is that on my Discord, there is a link to a Google Sheet. That Google Sheet has my current inventory or library of switches and keycaps. I'm going to link it in the chat. Oh shoot, the keyboard's not connected. I keep doing things and nothing's happening. It's because I didn't plug it in. Okay, hold on. Control C, Control V. That is the Google Sheet to the keycaps and switches. And so by the time it comes where we need to pick switches and pick keycaps, I'm hoping to have a few suggestions from folks. We'll do a quick poll, and that will decide the keycaps and switches that go in the build. I'm not sure if I'll do it for switches every time, but for keycaps, I think I want to do it. So feel free to browse, take a look, and then we'll get to it later. It should be pre-filtered, and Aaron, I did update this, so hopefully everything's up to date with actual options that we can use. It should be fairly easy. It should be filtered for stuff that's not in use. You can look at the brand, you can look at the name for both switches and keycaps, so we'll deal with that later. Let's take a quick look. You have way more GMK keycaps than I thought, so yes. I went on a bit of a spree in the last couple months, mostly on the Novel Keys Black Friday sales and the Mech Market keycap, whatever prices have gone down, but most of these are either on sale or I got them used off Mech Market. I think I missed Monka and Plastic Bits. Thank you for the follows, guys. Appreciate it. Okay, where were we? Okay, we will switch. There we go. So here's cat. Cat is asleep. Here's board. Board is not asleep. So first, let's do a quick test. Quick test. Type test. Okay. Okay. Quick little test. Taste test. Okay. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but this is the second time that Sinister has in chat publicly suggested I taste the cat. I personally don't think that's appropriate. But apparently, it's not illegal. Okay, let's just do our quick test. This is the DK1TK. DK1TKL. It came with a 1.2mm flex cut PCB, so it is fully foamed and tape modded with the 1984 PBT fans keycaps with Blue Cheese V2. Lock is not good. Okay, that was the... You type so politely now. Very relaxing. Thank you. Okay, let's do a quick swap. We're going to go straight to the type test for the other one. Then we'll take a quick look at them aesthetically, and then we'll move on to the build. Where's the EC board? There is no EC board. Okay. Let me do another one quickly. This is the KV1 65. I got this off the in-stock drop from Unikeys. It has Kikobo Komodo on it. I think it's the titanium color. We'll take a look at it a little bit closer in a second. So this is with Keygeek Sarah alu plate. Obviously foamless with cat fur accents. Yes, exactly. Whatever, it's good enough. Okay. So that is the two boards, the two GDK boards that we have on hand. In terms of aesthetics, let's just do this very, very quickly. So this one is the TKL version. Honestly, I think it looks pretty good. The pricing on this was stellar. I don't actually remember what it was. You guys can go look it up, but it was pretty damn good for what it was, which is an all brass bottom or mid piece, depending on how you want to look at it. This one in particular is obviously, as I said, Alex's version that I won off the giveaway, and it has the full brass bottom. So it's very hefty. This is a heavy chungus of a board. From what I was able to tell, the build quality is pretty good. I've switched things around. I've tinkered with it. I haven't had any problems. The only complaint that I've had about this board is the fact that, to nobody's fault, except maybe the designers or the creators, it came with a 1.2 mil flex cut PCB, and so it's not, it has to be foamed. It is what it is, right? So that's that. Let's put this away. Let's take a quick look at the 65, and then we move forward. Now, the 65, I actually think is going to be a lot more similar to the NV70 in terms of, how the hell are there 68 people here? No, there aren't. There's 20. That's followers. We're okay. This is the 65, released recently on Unikeys. It's an older board. Yeah, Vic, I had a moment there. So it was an in-stock drop. So this was actually their first board. It came out early last year before the DK1 TKL. It's a copper bottom, but you can get it with stainless steel. My expectation is that the NV70 sound profile is actually going to be more similar to this board. It's pretty solid. My only complaint about this board is that the little copper blocker on the top right, that there's an LED underneath it that I think in the original version was supposed to shine through. In this in-stock drop, they changed it, and so there's a little bit of light bleed around the corner here when the LED does its thing. And you can obviously turn the LED off, but then when you change Bluetooth, it does some things. So overall, I'm extremely happy with it. For the price, I think it's really good. My main complaint on this one has been the LED little kind of inconsistency on the top right. Actually, that's not true. My only other complaint is the layout. This is a forced 6.25U, which is not my preference. I prefer 7. But apparently they made some changes from the original in order to get better spacebar performance. Apparently the 7U didn't sound good, blah, blah, blah reasons. That's not why we're here. So pretty happy with this one. Let's put this in the back, actually. And let's take a look at NV. Okay. Where's my music? Why is my music not musicking? Okay. So I did open the NV70 Is the layout on the TKL standardized, though, so you could swap it in a third-party PCB? So no. The layout is standardized, but the PCB is proprietary because it's pogo pin, and it's not even like the normal pogo pin. It's like a fatter type of pogo pin. The thing is, I was on the group buy, and so I actually do have another DK1 TKL coming to me. I won the giveaway after I joined the group buy. And so that one is going to have the 1.6 mil PCB. So I think, Kat, I'm going to have to eject you because I need a little bit of space. Okay, let's. Okay, let's do this. Let's fiddle because the cat is too cute and I don't want to cause a riot. Okay, let's do this. Did you get shipping for it? For the cat? Hey, Rufus. Thank you, brother, for the sub, man. I saw it when I was logging in right before stream. I really appreciate it, dude. You really didn't have to, but for what it's worth, you were number one. Mike. Okay. Omega Switch, good evening. So I did peek at this. For what it's worth, it does look pretty striking in person. Because this is, maybe this is because this is their most recent board, but just the initial view I actually think is quite a bit cleaner than the other two boards. Now, one thing that I should probably do, that I was going to do, that I forgot to mark in my agenda, was a quick review of the product page. But I wanted to pull out the board first and look at it, because I think it actually looks pretty good. So this is the Anno Gray. Let's just take a quick look at the product page. We'll just kind of scan through it. Where is it? Is it here? Yes, here. Okay. So let's do this. We'll look through the product page quickly, then we'll go and build the board. And Sinister, these are removable when keyless blockers, and we will remove them. Navid stream on my birthday. Happy birthday, EJ. Wow. That's awesome, dude. Okay, NV70. I'm going to skip the kind of narrative story part of it. I know it's important for some people, but I personally am not super into the story behind boards. I just want to get to the clacks. The board is based on a car. So the DK1 TKL chat is currently in shambles because of the faulty stab holes on the plates. Yeah, I was actually looking at that. We'll get back to that in a bit. Okay, so, we have a keyboard. It's a TKL FRL or FRL TKL with an optional numpad. I'm not going to use the numpad. You okay there? She's right here. You can't see it, but she moved. Hold on. She moved. She's very prominent. Cat. So, let's skip in. So in terms of the weight options, we have the mirrored and the SS. I have SS, so this is the Anno Gray with stainless steel machine weight. We'll take a look at the back in a second. There are two primary options for the right cluster. One is traditional, the other is numpad. The reason we're not going to use the numpad is because I think 1U numpads are evil, and a numpad is not a numpad unless it has a 2U0. I can live without the the little dinky pluses and stuff on the right here, but it's the 2U0 that I need. I have to have my 2U0. I tried it once on a board, and I just couldn't, and I had to sell the board. So congratulations to all of you that are more skilled than me. For sure, this is a skill issue. This is my skill issue, but whatever. I'm almost 40, guys. I'm not going to learn a whole new. I'm good. I'm chill. In terms of layouts, we have standard and extended. Extended is like the ISO stuff. Now, one thing to note on this is that there are two plates that you can get in the group buy. There's the standard plate and the extended plate. The difference between the two is the standard plate is going to be for plate mounted stabs and is not going to have extended compatibility, so it's not going to be ISO compatible. If you want PCB mounted stabs, or if you want the ISO compatibility, you have to get the extended plate. I already checked, the prices are the same, so you can just pick the one that you want. I would get the extended hands down. The one that I have today is the default standard plate, so with plate mounted stabs. Chester is most likely going to be sending me the extended plate when it comes in, and when that happens, I'm going to do a rebuild during the week. So that's that. And then you got your standard stuff, foam, PCB, plate, whatever, all included in the package. And this is the pricing. It's currently in Canadian. So, you can do your little conversion if you want to switch to US currency. And let's see, fully built out, machine mark weight, extended plate and standard plate, same cost, whatever, we pick one. We go with 1.6 non-flex tri-mode, comes out to 160 USD. And we have, this is actually the exact config. Well, we're with the standard plate, but whatever, you get my point. Okay, that's good enough. If you guys have questions, let's see. Wow, chat went nuts. Whew. Okay, let's see. Wow. I agree there, though. I have 96% use per work, and they have to have 2U0, totally. When does the group buy end? Good question. I should know. February 10th. Oh yeah, actually it is a bit of a shorter group buy because they wanted to beat Chinese New Year. So I think they wanted to get the order in before Chinese New Year started or something like that. That's one of the reasons it's a shorter group buy period. Well, ladies love an extended plate. I have two Cycle 7s. They slap so hard. Yeah, I've heard really good things about Cycle 7. We'll see how this compares. But from what I've heard, Cycle 7 is like a Hall of Fame value board, so we'll see. Did you go for the Shy 60? I didn't. I thought about it, but I'm saving my budget on the more expensive stuff for some of the Geon stuff that's coming out this year. Possibly the Katina, but there's Glare that's coming, there's F165 that's coming, there's a bunch of others that are coming. And although I like the Shy, it didn't speak to me in exactly the same way. Sorry, that Geon boards did. Okay. I think they also noticed price increases for raw materials for most that would happen around Feb 9. Oh, yeah. Interesting. I didn't know about that. Interesting. Shame on you for assuming there was any other reason to be conjured. Like the Carnival? Yeah, the EC F160. So I'm looking at the F160. I'm not an EC person myself, but we'll hopefully I'll try for the MX version. So before we take a look at the packaging, I wanted to look at the board. So there's black stuff, by the way, in here. This is like a little foam layer. We'll take this out. Side profile is pretty sweet. Let's go to desk. There we go. Side profile is pretty sweet. What's interesting, and I think a few other creators have actually noted this, but this part here, there's it's a bit of an indent. I think it was Mikey. I don't remember. There was someone whose stream I was watching that pointed this out, but this is not a flat piece. It actually indents into the board. Oh yeah, so I've kind of flipped it over, and the little foam bits are kind of pulling out. Oh, that feels nice. That feels pretty good, actually. Has a really nice texture to it. Oh, that's interesting. So, okay, so we have so there's the anode part, which is the kind of the gray part that you can see here. But then this part, whatever this accent piece is, it's kind of like a sparkle black. I don't know if you can make it out. Can you? Yeah, maybe just barely. It's kind of like a sparkly black kind of coating. Maybe, I don't actually know, maybe this is the sparkle black that you can get. Interesting. All right, let's take it apart. I love how you guys are so passionate and knowledgeable about this. I'm just like, this board goes clickety clack, yay. In case anyone joined late, Gigi Jumanji is my wife, and she has joined the stream to be supportive. So thank you, wife. We love you. Well, I love you. Wait, is that huge text on it, on there, or is it a plastic foil? No. It's on there. There's no foil. Like, assuming you're talking about the text on the back, it says design in emotion here, and then this says lines in creation. This is actual text. Definitely not a sticker. Okay, the foam has come out. Okay, we're gonna have to, let's take this apart. Welcome, Glenn. Thanks for joining. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 internal screws. And are they hex? Yeah, they're hex. Alright. So we have 6 internal hex screws. Hi, Fifi. Yes, you're very cute. Everyone loves you. I don't know if you guys can... Yeah, you can see her eyes. That's so cute. And did I pick the right... I did. Good for me. Okay. I don't know why. I think there is a spray-coated black Sinister. I think there is a flash black, but maybe I'm wrong. Actually, I have the page up here. Yeah, they're spray-coated flash black. Wait, is that Glenlore Glen? Yes, that is Glenlore Glen, actually. Like, I don't wanna draw too much attention to him, because Glenn is by nature both humble and not humble. But you know, if anyone makes their way over to the Nixkeys server, which is Glenn's hunting ground, you'll just kind of passively catch and absorb some of the Glen lore, and it is both sad and fascinating and amazing, and I just love Glen. Okay. Where is the screw tray? There it is. I feel like I should ask for your autograph. Oh, it's so funny. Oh, that's what I said. I don't want spray coated. Ah, okay, sorry. I mean, look, for what it's worth, it's basically almost all ano. There's just that little spray coated part on the back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I am missing a screw. No, I'm not. There it is. Okay. So it has a decent weight to it, but it's not like super heavy. It's probably in line in density with the KV165. Simple Effect. Welcome to the channel. Thanks for joining. Okay, interesting. So I don't know if you guys can make it out, but there's like this little foamy pad around here with diffusers inside to help control the light bleed, which was actually, as I said earlier, one of my minor nitpicks with the KV one, which was their first board. And then as you can see, there's these removable wind keyless blockers. Can you see? Yeah, you can. And they did the same approach to it. So there's this little kind of foamy piece with, again, an LED diffuser. So there's this like little foam blocker, light blocker behind the whatever wind key blocker. And then inside there's that white diffuser. So that's kind of cool, actually. And one of the things I was actually wondering, and I haven't had an answer to this yet, so someone actually pointed this out in the GDK server, is you'll notice there's like a bunch of these holes on the inside of the case, and I'm not sure why these are here, but I think this is a hangover from the Chinese group buy. because this is a prototype that came from that one. I don't know if this will be in the international version. I need to figure that out. I need to get that answer. But it's like, I don't think it does anything. There's just like extra holes on the inside of the top case. It's kind of funny. The diffuser looks high quality. I think it is. I remember seeing, when I saw Mikey's video, it looked really clean, the little LED light thing over here. And then there's also some lights on the back that we'll take a look at as well. So while we're here, I'm just going to remove the blockers because, to the disappointment of many, I am not a Win keyless person. I use my boards for work and play, and my work machine is a Mac. However, don't let it fool you. That is just an excuse. Even if my work machine was a Windows, I would still be rocking a Win keyboard. The Lumen Key 98 has threaded holes in the top case. That makes me think there was supposed to be top mount option that was scrubbed. Bummer. Yeah, that's too bad. I actually think sometimes there are older design choices that make their way into boards. The only thing is that the holes that are here on the inside of the case, like, I can't imagine what they were for. And like when I look at them closely, they actually look threaded. So like, I don't know what possible reason there would be to have threaded holes on the inside of these, on these pieces. You all right there, Fifi? She's good. Okay. Did I pick the right size? I did. Beautiful. Beautiful. The screws that go in that hold these Win keyless blockers in place, they're very, very tiny screws. So this is, I'm going to see if you guys can see it. So this is the screw that holds it in. It's like tiny, tiny, tiny. I don't even know if you guys can see it, but very, very small. And this is the blocker. The blocker looks like it is the same kind of flash black coat that we saw on the backside. It's like the sparkle black. And then I don't know if you can see if I hold it closer. Like, you'll see there's the little kind of foam bit, and then inside is where the diffuser is. So, let's see. I love Win keyless boards. Yeah, honestly, I think Win key is based. I have mostly Win key. Interesting. I actually wonder at what point, because it feels like there's a split down the hobby, and almost like all the mega hardcore enthusiasts that have been around forever, they're all Win keyless people, or almost all of them, and it's all the people that joined more recently, like me, and I guess some of the others here that are more on the Win key side. For those that don't know, I got my first keyboard, which was a Leobog High 75, 2 years ago, and I was in the pre-built space for about a year with Newfies and Mel Geeks and all that stuff. And I got my first custom in January of last year, so I am 1 year into my journey. Some say he spends his days feeding needy children just because. Some say he accepts all stray cats into his home just because. He does have a few dogs, by the way. Glenn has dogs. Yeah, okay, EJ covered it. I'd keep the left Win key, but remove the right one. I'm willing to try that on a rebuild later in the week. My only concern with doing that is if there's software support for it, because there are LED holes here, so there's actual lighting that will come through, and I don't know if the option will exist to let us have LEDs on one blocker but not the other. Chances are there's an option that says turn them off or turn them on. So I'm willing to do it on a tinker build later, but for now we'll stick to kind of the more default. Okay, let's put this over here, and let's get into the rest. Hey, Mikey, welcome. Thanks for joining, dude. Okay, let's put this over here. I like both Win key and Win keyless, but prefer Win key and boards smaller than TKL. Yeah, so I actually do have one Win keyless. Is it one? I have one Win keyless board, which is a Frog TKL. Actually, no, that's not fair. I have two. and they're both TKLs, and for me it's workable. I agree, it's doable on a TKL. I still prefer WinKey, but I can do it. But on anything smaller, I just cannot do it because the way that I use my keys requires the WinKey. Now I didn't actually look at these stabs. Yeah, these are plates, and they're lubed. I think we're still gonna tune the spacebar one. Not that I don't trust, but I don't trust. Oof, good point. I thought you could switch individually. Yeah, we'll see. Okay, this is pretty cool. I'm a big fan of physical, like paper instructions. This is great. This is actually pretty great. It's the first time I've seen, well, yeah, actually, it's the first time I've seen something like this on a GDK board. And it's actually just straight up not that common in the hobby period. Even Neo doesn't give you written. Huh. Wow. That's pretty cool. Yeah, so there isn't, it doesn't look like I have the option to pick and choose between the badges. I can do rear light strip, badge light strip. Huh, let's see. Who's up lubing their stabs? Yeah, I found out on the server, on the Discord, that Vic does not lube her stabs, which I find very interesting. So here we have a cable, screwdriver, and I think some gasket pieces. Let's take this out. Yeah. Yeah, these are the plate and PCB gaskets, and then we have the cable, screwdriver, and the little USB receiver. I asked Nav if you're okay because I was worried. Yeah, we were all a bit worried. I do also like printed user. Yeah, totally. Me too. I don't mind online stuff, but I just think the printed stuff is a really nice touch, just from a UX perspective, like the user experience. I think it's really nice to do it. It feels nice, right? It feels a bit more formal, professional, whatever, versus like you just kind of get it and then you have to follow a link. Okay. All right, we have our plate. This is definitely a plate mount plate, for sure. Yeah. Now, I did heard from Mikey, who's built this board. He actually has one, and I think he did a video on it the day the group buy came out, that he figured out that, so initially when I was watching his stream and he was building it, we thought there was something wrong with the PCB mount, because it sounded off, it sounded wonky. So then we switched to plate, and the plate mount actually sounded much, much, much better, and we were using clacky switches. What Mikey discovered later was that apparently this board, the PCB mount, works really well with deeper switches, and it's when you put a bright switch on the PCB mount that for whatever reason it doesn't sound as good. And when you put the brighter, clackier switches on the plate mount is when it really shines. So for today, we're going to do the plate mounted option. Okay, it's pretty standard. Okay, yeah, so you can see we got the options here: split left, split right, ISO. Yeah, so the PCB supports it all. The only thing is that the PCB is 7U only, so you're locked into 7U, but like for me, that's great. And you know, it's funny, when I initially saw these videos, I actually thought that these little white pads were stickers, like stickers that came pre-installed, but they're not. It's literally just like an imprint on the, I don't even know what to call it, but it's an imprint on the PCB. It's literally just like a portion to mark out where your stabs go, which is kind of cool. Huh, fun. All right. Okay. Pogo pins, yes. The photos of the fire. Oh yeah, so Mikey when he was streaming last night, there was a fire next door, and so we were watching stream and hearing ambulances and stuff and fire trucks go behind him. It was nuts. I like the F-kit Wii ball mounting method where you just throw everything in the case and type with crossed fingers. So plate mount for clock, PCB for thock. Yeah, so that's what Mikey found. But I also saw, was it Sterling? I think it was Sterling. I saw Sterling stream, and I think the plate mount actually worked out better. So that's what I want to do today. And then on a rebuild, and we do rebuild streams, on a rebuild stream we will try the other method. So what do I got to do? I got to tune the stabs. We'll check this out very quickly. Okay. Are there any good stabs for plate mount? Because I always use Type Plus stabs because they're easy to tune. So I've only used plate mount stabs a couple times. There's a brand called Designer Studio that I've used that I think Mikey also recommends, that I've used in the past. And I've been very happy with Designer Studios. I've used them a couple times, but like I said, I'm not the super expert on them because I also typically will use PCB. Now the only okay, so here's the thing, right? Is that Mikey, you're right. They do come pre-lubed. The only problem is, do we trust it? That's my question. Because if we trust it, we'll just install it and get to switches, and we'll see what happens. But then if there's tick, if there's a problem, then we're going to have to take the whole thing apart. And I don't think I have patience for that. Trust but verify. Okay, so here's the problem. Trust but verify means I have to take this apart. And if I take it apart, that means I have to clean it and we have to relube it. I do have a syringe. Grok E, welcome. They are not that good. Got some with DK60, DK162. Okay, these are the 01 stabs. Okay, so these are the previous gen. Oh yeah, the 01s are these ones, the plate mounts. The 02s are the PCB mounts. Okay. I didn't lube anything except the 7U wire. No trust but verify. No trusty. They are not that good. I didn't lube. Okay, you know what? We're gonna tune them. You know what? Honestly, I'm torn about this. Let me check the thing and see. Do you guys? Does this come with stabilizer? Okay, so package content does include GDK PCB stabilizer set, and then you can get extra stabs. But it comes with PCB stabilizers, which means it might not. Oh, I understand. Okay, you know what? We're gonna tune them, just in case. How annoying would it be to go through all this effort and then have to take it apart? We'll just do this fast. I have some grease as well. Where did it go? So this is the Geon tweak board, this little aluminum board. Obviously you can get it from Geon because it is the Geon tweak board, but you can also use your phone screen. What we're just going to do very quickly is just do a little test. So I'm basically just holding down, I don't know if you can see it, let me shuffle over. So I'm basically just holding down one side, and then I tap the other side and see if I can hear anything. All right, you hear that? That's like a little bit. Yeah. So then, okay. So now that we have a little bit over here, right? So it's like you can probably hear it. Okay, cat wants to go in the closet. Give me a second. Hi, kitty. Hi, kitty. She has a bed in the closet, so that's why she wants to go in there. Cat is getting pretty desperate. Yeah. Welcome, by the way. Thanks for joining, Carathox. Cara or Carathox? Oh, Carathox. I get it. I'm a dummy. What is that? I need to get one. Are you talking about the little metal board? It's the Geon tweak board. It's like a little... Oh, yeah. So, basically, you know, we got the little ticking here. And you can actually... I don't know if you can actually see it. But, yeah, not a chance you can see this. But, like, when I look, I can actually see there's a tiny bit of space on this side. So all I do is I just kind of pull it out and just sort of lightly bend it over the edge. Right? And I'll do that first. Okay, it's a little bit better. And then the other thing I do is I kind of push down to get a little bit of rotation on it. So I kind of push it down on one side and then kind of bend it a little bit at the same time. And all I'm trying to do is reduce that ticking noise. Your phone works as a tweak board too. So I think the phone works for like hearing it, but I don't know if I would like bend the metal wire over the edge of the phone. Like, you know, it's up to you, I guess. But I mean, I guess you could use the edge of your table, so it doesn't matter. Okay, that's much better. Much better. So like you typically are always going to hear a little bit of something. But it's usually when it's too loud that you want to... Yeah, Mikey, Geon tweak board. Simple. I'm going to edit my order and get both plates and add stabs. So, I mean, look, if you like plate-mounted stabs, then, you know, you do you. But the extended plate does basically everything, right? It has extended layout compatibility. It covers PCB mounted stabs. I would personally get the extended plate just because it gives you more options. Unless you actually liked plate mounted stabs, then of course you'd get. Okay. Now I saw Mikey yesterday put BDZ on the wire, but BDZ is a little bit too much work for me, and I like just taking out the little tube of dielectric. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to trust the lubing. We'll leave the lubing that's already in the housing alone. We'll just lube up the wire and throw it in. Okay. Okay, nice. I got those handles. Oh, son of a bitch. I dropped the little cap. Okay, it's not too far. Okay. I got those handles where you insert the short ends and then you can just twist the sides. Ooh, you know, I saw that and I thought about getting it, but by the time I saw it and thought about getting it, I already had the Geon tweak board, this little metal plate, and I kind of felt like it would be a waste of money to get both. So the way that essentially the way that I engage with this hobby is in our household, in our family, both my wife and I we pool all of our money together, so it goes into one pool, and then we each have our own separate budgets, and that's like our fun money budget. And so you can do whatever you want with it. I could go out and buy gold bars. I mean, you know, I couldn't, but like, you know what I mean, right? Like I could use that, I could throw it, I could give it away, I could do whatever I want with it, and she can do the same for hers. So it's totally discretionary, but it's a limited budget. And so because that's the way that we approach it, I'm always trying to min-max where I spend money in the hobby, because if I buy something, I'm essentially not buying something else. And so because I already have the Geon tweak board, I decided not to get the little twisty things, but they did look very cool. Okay. Oh, son of a... Who knows what I did wrong? Who knows? Who knows what I did or didn't do? You know, okay, so Vic, so I'm going to read it just so everyone knows what comment I'm talking about. Vic said, "I did your mom. That's all I know." Okay, so my phone is you know, my phone is here. The phone is the second camera. But if I could, I would take the phone and I will show you a text literally yesterday from my mom saying, "Hey, what's the link to your stream?" And I said, "Here's the link." And then she texted me an hour later. She said, "I'm proud of you. You're doing good." right? Now, that means she watched it, and that means she could be watching it right now. So, Vic, if you have a message for my mom, say hello. Nobody's guessed it, by the way. The freaking stab wire. It's a 6.25 wire. The freaking packaging has the 7U wire in there, and I didn't even see it. So we tuned the wrong wire. Yeah, Keep Dweeb got it. Not a 7U wire. Oh, I feel like, okay, a couple things. One, I've been talking about this for the last 4 streams. The more I stream, the more I am impressed with how smooth people like Alex and Sterling and whatever, how smooth, like, guys, this is like a movie production studio. There's a microphone. There's like the sound mixer. There's the second camera. There's the initial camera. There's the chat. There's like what I'm doing here. There's like all this stuff going on. And like the fact that their streams do not have like 20 times more mistakes is wild to me. Like, every stream, there is something, and I'm not even like, whatever, right? It's like, whatever, we're hanging out, it's cool. It's just funny to me that every stream, there is something, like, important that I totally mess up or miss that in real life I wouldn't. Okay, so we're going to do this again. Okay. Hey, you know what, though? On the plus side, what this means is that there was never a world where this wire was not coming out because it was the wrong wire from the start, so... That means that no matter what, things would have been okay. We're all proud of you, Nav. I hope she isn't watching right now. The NV70 is on your desk and not mine. Huh. I mean, they've been doing it for so long. They have. Tweak the 7U. I will definitely tweak the 7U. Also, you use the carpal thing for your mouse. I do. Yeah. I got carpal tunnel. Well, I got the symptoms of carpal tunnel. I don't know if it's actually carpal tunnel a while ago. And so the way I use the mouse is like this, right? So I don't actually do it like this because this causes, I don't know if you can see, this causes wrist pain for me. I do it like this, kind of like a karate chop, where I rest my hand, the side of my hand here, and I kind of use it like this in sort of like an angled claw grip, and it moves around this way, and it's super, super comfortable. So... highly recommended. If you have a 3D printer, you can 3D print them too. You can find models online. Okay. One more time. Where did I put the tweak board? There it is. We need to get Nav a vertical mouse. Show them Marcus. I think I brought Marcus upstairs, didn't I? My wife is obsessed. I don't know if you guys know Marcus, the guy that hates the rock. I hate this rock. That Marcus. My wife is obsessed with Marcus, and she asked me to 3D print Marcus. I think I brought it upstairs, my love. I think it is upstairs. So, if you want to bring it down, I will show everyone Marcus. You hear this? 3D print what? Marcus. Okay, she's going to come and bring Marcus. I'm a blurst ego trackball enjoyer. So I actually do have one. I have one over there. I just don't use it that often. I don't particularly like it. I feel like it's slower. I'm just not as fast with it. But I do have a trackball. Yeah, see? So hold on. You hear this? This to me is like fine. I don't know if you can hear it. This is fine. That's not fine. That's like kind of not fine. Okay. Better. Better. All right, I can hear my wife coming down. She's bringing Marcus. I can hear it. I've actually never balanced my wires before. I do it almost every time. All right, hold on. You're fine. You're fine. My wife is camera shy. She does not want to be on camera. All right, this is Marcus. So I don't exactly know the whole story behind Marcus. but it's like whatever. It's like a TikTok internet something or other thing. She's shown me a couple videos. It's like I think it's in like some VR world where you can make your character, and it's like whatever. Yeah, so this is Marcus. It's a character, and yeah, she's obsessed with Marcus. Marcus is apparently very funny, and she loves Marcus. So this is Marcus. Yeah. God damn, Marcus kind of hot. Grok, I need to introduce you to. Okay, we need to all introduce Grok to our partners, and have Grok teach our partners, because Marcus is hot. Well, do I get the Kelowna cheap one or the more expensive metal one? I think I might have missed some context. I got a good deal on HHKB Studio, and I'm low-key enjoying it a lot. The nub trackpad brings me back. Huh. Is that like a keyboard that has a trackpad on it? I've never heard of that. It's pretty cool. Sounds horrible with any switch except silent switches. Interesting. What if no partner and single living? Then just like take Grok's information, because I think Grok will become very useful when you do find a partner, because then Grok can teach, I guess, both you and your partner about real beauty. What if I'm just a figment of Mango's psychosis? Okay, I've talked about this a lot, but guys, I'm going to talk about it again. I died. Like, died. So, I'm hanging out, tinkering with the board right here at this desk, just sitting here like this, right? So, I'm sitting here and I'm watching a stream, and the stream is there, and it's Mango. I see Mango's online, so I click. Mango's doing something. Everything's fine. We're vibing. It's cool. Chat's popping. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. And then I hear a noise in the stream, and Mango does this. She goes. And then she gets back with this box, puts the box on the table. It was pizza, and then proceeds to eat her pizza. I died. Like, I died. I think Mango might be my wife's spirit animal. It's just so funny. I've never seen someone so excited. Like, guys, none of us mattered. The stream didn't matter. Nothing mattered. It was just pizza. It is time for pizza. Oh, so funny. Oh, it was hot honey pepperoni pizza, okay? Yeah, I get it. Mango does that a lot. Pizza is serious business. Pizza is important now. So like multiple people are just telling me that I'm wrong and that Mango was right. You know what? You're all right. Pizza is important. And if my wife happens to order pizza for when I'm done with stream, wouldn't that be great? I'm looking up because I'm in the basement and she's up there. Wouldn't it be great if someone ordered pizza? Oh my, it would be so wonderful if someone ordered some pizza. This is dielectric grease. It's Permatex dielectric grease. This was one of Alex's recommendations for a super long time, and I got it, and I like it, and it works for me. Okay. Alright, we're back in the game. Yo, wire, yeah, wire in the tube. That's what it is. Watch and have also rush for pizza. Well, someone has to order pizza for me to be able to rush for it. Pho is also good from what I've heard. Oh, Rockkiv, thanks for joining, man. Ruben, and welcome to both of you. I guess thanks for joining. I haven't seen you around in a bit. Good to have you. Pho is also, so what, my wife introduced me to Pho very recently. I'm gabbing too much. This is, and you know what's funny is I'm actually not that chatty of a person in real life. In real life, I'm a lot more quiet. Come on, what the hell? Go in. Hey. Comply. Thank you. In real life, I'm actually a calmer, in real life on chat, voice chat, anywhere. I'm usually a bit more chill, but for whatever reason, hanging out on stream, it kind of, I don't know, wakes me up a bit, alerts me, not sure. I ordered you pho. Oh, that's where the pho comment came from? I totally missed that. She ordered pho. I guess she doesn't love me. It's fine. It's fine. I'm kidding, by the way. Which way does this go in? Does it go in? Okay, it goes in this way. Nice. Okay. So, have any of you guys taken a look at the switch backlog? No, I messed it up. It is not this way. It is the other way. Have any of you guys looked at the switch backlog and want to weigh in on the switch that we use for today's build? Because we are about there. God damn it, I messed up again. Oh, nice. Cypher, because you have a safe space around you. Oh, you've been here an hour just lurking. Awesome. Because you're with friends. My wife says that too. She says, are you having fun with your friends? Yeah. Otemu Blue Sandpaper Looped. I do not think that's an option. Maybe if you don't make mistakes on stream, I get you pizza. Okay, she's bringing the spicy. Thank you, wife. 35, wow. Good group. All right, strawberry cheesecake. That is an option. I'm going to open up a poll. Let me just pull out a keyboard because we are basically at switch picking, and pretty soon after that, we're going to be at keycap picking. So we're getting there. I don't know why it took so long so far. I do think strawberry cheesecake is an option. Let's take a look at screen. Okay. Switch library. Yeah, strawberry cheesecake is an option. Okay. One thing that I think we're missing, the golden apples are not here yet, so that is not an option. But everything else. Well, Navid, your pizza is paid with sub. If you don't stop messing, we're going to send Mango a pizza and not you. Please continue messing up. I'm begging you. I need to get Nav more switches. Yeah, Mikey is very kind, and quite a few of the switches on this list are from him. Are they being used? Oh, they are being used. I don't think that's correct. Maybe I didn't update the sheet. What are they being used in? Switch library, strawberry cheesecake. Are they in the Polygon 7? Okay, yeah, you're right. They're in use. On your stream chat overlay, it might be a tidy tad wider than shown. Oh, like tidy bit wider than the camera, huh? Yeah, I need to fiddle around with OBS. I'm still not at pro level quite yet. Duroc Black Lotus. All right, actually, Duroc Black Lotus is an interesting choice because those are not going to be with me for much longer. Someone picked them for one of the giveaways they won. So that's actually an interesting choice because we're not going to have them around. So Duroc Black Lotus, I'm okay with that. If anyone has another choice, now will be the time, or forever hold your peace. Okay. I am very curious about the actual typing experience on this board because of the exploded numero. I don't think I've ever even seen a board that's done that, exploded numero. I'm sure they're out there, but I haven't seen it, so I'm curious how it'll go. Okay, then let's use them for now. I kind of like the Black Lotus. They're not my favorite by any means, but they're good. Okay. We have a few people. This is the spreadsheet shit I need to take care of this weekend. I need to go and figure out what course I need to go and figure out what all the spring weights are because 75% of their springs wrong. Yeah, so I actually keep track of the mods I do, and so whenever I mod a switch, I'll go in and update the spreadsheet. Sometimes because I tinker a lot, I don't always keep it up to date, so sometimes it's slightly out of date. I need to get a little bit better at that, but for the most part it's good. Okay. Wait, you got PCB mount stabs? No, this is plate mount, yeah. I think it depends on what plate you get, because the basic default plate is for the plate mounted stabs, and then the extended plate is for the PCB mounted stabs. Now, I do think that PCB mount stabs, some of them will work with this plate, but the problem is that the actual holes that the stabs go into, I think, are a tiny bit smaller, and so some PCB mounted stabs will not fit with this plate. So if you want to guarantee PCB mount compatibility, you have to go with the extended plate, which is the other option. No, Mikey, I think yours was the default plate, because I don't think Chester has the extended plates yet. I think there was some issue and they had to like get them. I mean, the easiest way to tell is if you have ISO compatibility, right? So if you look and you have ISO compatibility on your plate, then you have the extended plate. And if yours looks like this, where it's like, you know, has little plate mount cutouts, then you have the default plate. I think chances are that you just picked stabs that just happen to work with the default plate. All right, I heard no arguments, and so we're going to go to the Duroc Black Lotus. Let me grab them. I'd like to request Nixies, not a full build, maybe 2 to 3. I'm thinking I might use them in mine, but I need to know what they sound like. No problem. I'll build it with the Black Lotus, and then before we close, I can swap out with a couple Nixies in the alphas, like put 2 or 3 in and do a quick 1, 2, 3, and see how it does. If you wouldn't mind, though, just to remind me of the Nixie test, and we'll do it. No problem. Nice. My plate looks different than yours as well, though. It was built for screw-in stabs, and GDK sent me screw-in ones. Oh, maybe because you got yours direct from GDK. Maybe that's why you got the extended plate. I got mine from Keybay. And so maybe Chester had the default one because he might have got his a little bit earlier. Oh, interesting note. Actually, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but I really like these hot swap sockets. They're not the crappy whatever Kale ones that like with the little metal bits that catch on your everything. I don't know if you can see, but like it's the only part that sticks out is just the plastic part. Big fan. Now, one thing it's probably worth mentioning, just in case anyone wasn't aware, this project, or not the project, sorry, GDK has had a little bit of issues with the timing on their TKL, the group buy that I'm on. Now, if you go pay attention to the servers, the Discord servers, what you'll notice is that there's a few people that are frustrated because the group buy was delayed a bit. And I think there were personally 2 main problems. Now, this is like my opinion, right? This didn't come from them. But I think there are 2 main problems that contributed towards this. One is I think they were way too aggressive with their initial time estimates. Their initial time was a 3-month turnaround, which I think was crazy. Like, even if, you know, you think you can do it, I would never commit to a 3-month turnaround. Like, we're talking get the order, submit the payment, receive the payment, start production, anno the boards, finish production, do quality checks, send it to the vendors ship it out, it gets shipped overseas. It's like such a process. 3 months is insane. And so I think the first problem they had is that they overcommitted on time. And the second problem is that I think this might be a language barrier thing, but I don't think they communicated very well when they ran into issues. And so I think the first issue that they ran into was some typhoon or local storm that caused a problem with production. But I think they ran into a couple small issues, and as a result, caused some delays. And I think that because this is a more budget-oriented board, a lot of the people that joined the group buy potentially got a bit nervous, I'm not sure, but then you couple that with communication that wasn't exactly stellar, and I think it caused quite a bit of frustration. Now, to their credit, I do think they're improving. Their communication's gotten quite a bit better, and they did offer a free screw tray as like a little compensation for being late, which I think is really nice. A lot of other vendors wouldn't do that. And the other thing is that like none of these group buys are perfect, right? Like everyone has issues, everyone has problems, and at the end of the day, what's important for me is, does the board get delivered? Is it like mostly okay? Do they deal with it well? Like, I tend to be a lot more forgiving in the way that I think about it, because like at the end of the day, it's just like keyboards. It's fine. It's like we're not saving lives. It's not that big a deal. And so like as long as you're not screwing anyone over and you're like broadly big picture okay, I tend to look at things much more forgivingly. So in my book, personally, I think these guys are okay. I like that they're making efforts. I like that they're trying to improve. I think it shows in the design of their boards. So that's how I feel about it. Now, I'm not mega informed, so like please do not think to yourselves that I am the freaking whatever omnipotent keyboard knower of things. There are people that are way more informed than me, and I do know that there are quite a lot of frustrations that exist in China from the China group buy, but unfortunately I don't know anything about that. So I can speak to my experience, which has been so far pretty good. And if I didn't get this one, I would have. Like if I didn't get it from Chester, it's sponsored stream, right? Like keep that in mind, and I do get to keep the board, but I would have like almost definitely got it for myself. This is the kind of thing that I typically like. It's like a value board, blah, blah, blah. GDK is actually sending me the extended one. I'm trying to see if they can send it with carbon fiber and the wing keyless add-on. Nice. Yeah, 3-month turnaround is tough. Sis4, midday keep streamer, let's go. Yeah, so this is going to be my time slot. It's going to be weekly Saturdays at 1 p.m. I picked this time slot for two reasons. One is because I don't actually think there's a lot of streamers that stream on Saturdays, so I thought it was a emptier time. And two is that it's a Europe-friendly time. So this is my only regularly scheduled weekly slot, is Saturdays at 1 p.m. And then during the week, I have a backlog, which is on the server. Right now, there's 5 or 6 items in the backlog, which is tinkering with boards I already have. And those are unscheduled. So when I feel like it, I hop on, we hang out. But the scheduled streams, which will be the sponsored streams and the new builds, are going to be Saturdays at 1 Eastern, obviously. So like hour and a half ago is when I started, roughly. I think the average is around 6 months. Yeah, I think 6 to 9 months, I'd say, is around average. Like the noose was closer to 9, I think. Closer to 9, not quite. The Class 65, which is in my backlog to be built, it's over there. That one was closer to 9 months. So I think, honestly, I would say 6 months is pretty good. I'd say 5 months is stellar. I don't think... the only boards that I think come in faster than that are like the Neo boards, and boards where they start production before the group buy starts. Yeah, I think GDK wanted to do things how it was done in China, which is a bit quicker. Chester had to talk to them, went through a process to fix their whole QC system, make sure they got things out on time. Nice. Thank you, Nav. Finally, someone thinks of us EU plebs. Yeah. I actually noticed on quite a few of the servers that I am active on, there's quite a few EU people that hang around. Like Dream Girly is one of them. Mr. Rockkib's another one. There's quite a few folks in EU. And a lot of the North American streamers usually go live later in the day. So, plus the thing is, like, I'm almost 40. I don't really go out. I don't have too much of a social life. Like, my social life is at my computer. I do have friends, but like it's not like we go party and stuff, right? It's like I go to my best friend's house for dinner. I see my nieces. It's more chill. Nice, we're done. It's more chill, which means that I'm on my computer a lot more, and Saturdays are a great time to stream. You know what, Vic? I actually like the way this looks. This looks pretty nice. Nice. I'm surprised. I've just been raw dogging the stream. It's been pretty enjoyable. I've said this before, but Vic does not like streams. She typically does not join streams. I thought she would have bailed a long time ago, and I 100% do not hold it against you if you go. I get it. The fact that Vic has hung around, I am, I mean, without getting too sappy, I'm like a little bit honored, just a little bit, you know. Okay. I need the screwdriver. Why did I just put it away? Okay. Put these gaskets on, get this going. Okay, next choice. Next choice, before I forget, is keycaps, guys. So we're going to be there very, very quickly. If we get too many choices on keycaps, we'll do a poll. If it's only 1 or 2 people, we'll figure it out. So you can go to the spreadsheet. I did update the keycaps, by the way, so keycaps should be almost entirely accurate. And let me know what you think. Oh, interesting. I should have called this out before. Again, this is probably like indicator of rookie move, but there's a mounting point under the space bar, and I'm wondering if we leave it alone or do it. I'm tempted to not use it. Where are spreadsheets? Ah, thanks, Vic. Thank you very much. Machinist. I'm okay with Machinist. I think Machinist will be slightly too warm, because it is a warmer tone, right? I think personally, I think it'll be slightly too warm because this gray is a little bit cooler. But if that's the vote, that's the vote, and we'll build it with Machinist. Where spreadsheet? The rest of my Lotus series are actually really good. Nice. Maybe Signet. Signet could work. I'm worried that Signet will also be too warm because Signet, the I don't even know what to call it, but like the dark gray behind the orange is like a warmer color. I'm thinking we leave the spacebar gasket alone. Let's leave it alone. Does not deserve to join us. Okay, let me tell you what I'm thinking. Okay, Dual Shot is one. Fright Night is another. Lime is another. I don't think Mars Cadet would work. Oh, Mars Cadet could work. Metropolis could work. Honestly, okay, if we do a foamed build, we can maybe do a Tinker foamed build in the future. I would use one of the key talks, but not today. KKB COL could work. Dolch could work. Hellebore, maybe not. One More Rep could work. Outer Bounds could work. No Unsacred Timeline. Skidata could work. Yeah, there's options. Okay, I could do Sacred Timeline. We got KKB. Okay, let's see. We got Machinist, Signet, Dolch, Sacred Timeline, Boundless Jataka. All right. Let's do a poll. I don't actually know what GMK Yuri is, so I've never seen that. Ooh. That's fun. Oh, yeah. I don't know if you can make it. You can see. Yeah, you can see it. There's the LEDs here. Nice. All right, let's do this. Poll. Okay. Question. Keycaps, please. Jataka, COL. Shoot, I'm forgetting. Dolch, Signet, Machinist. Okay, I have run into a limit. Keycaps. Jataka, COL, Dolch, Signet, Machinist. Whatever, good enough. We'll give it 3 minutes, and we'll take a break. All right, polls up. Okay. Unbelievable. 1, 1, 1, and 1. We are literally split 4 ways. That is crazy. Alright, Jataka's leading by 1. Ooh, this is fun. This was, by the way, one of the main reasons I was excited for hitting affiliate was so that we could do polls, because I love this. This is one of my favorite parts is these choices, like the switch choice and the keycap choice. I love it. Okay. Fun. Alright, looks like Dolch is first place. Machinist is coming in second. It looks like Dolch is winning. And by the way, for Dolch, we also have light alphas and dark alphas that we can choose from. So that'll make it fun. Okay. Let's put this away. Alright, we got Dolch leading with 33%. That's pretty good. Nice. Okay. Looks like Dolch it is. Okay. Yeah, KKB Dolch. Yeah. I only have, on GMK I have MTNU Dolch, but that's currently in use. I should have specified, but it is what it is. Ooh. Can you see? Yeah, you can. You can make it out, the red. It's pretty cool. Yeah, it's a little bright, but you get it. Never tried KKB. Okay. Let's put the screws in. Yeah, because I put the screws away, I'm going to have to take it out all over again, because I am smart and I do smart things. Yeah, it's like an LED taillight. Yeah. So this, I skipped over it when we looked at the website, but this whole board is based on a car. I think it's a Hyundai or something. I'm not super into cars, and so it's not exactly my cup of tea. Oh, son of a... God damn it. Annoying. I dropped the screw. Do I have tweezers? I do. Okay. So this is a nitpick. The screws are not magnetic. This is, I would like magnetic screws. This I do not like. Everything else so far, I have been... son of a bitch. These fingers were not meant for finessing work. Freaking screws. Oh, son of a... This is not it, guys. This is not it. This is not the way. This is not it. We are not pleased. Okay. Ah, Dolch 1. Nice. Okay, Dolch it is. Yeah, the back is really nice. They copied the Hyundai NV74 backlighting. That's pretty cool. I am very much into cars. Nice. Do you have any like, do you collect cars, Shark, or is it more like you tinker, like you have like a project car that you tinker with? I don't really care for cars, not gonna lie. The only car I care... You know what, Vic? The Miata? I've never actually seen you or met you in person, but the vibe that you give is a Miata. Like, you give Miata. I see that for you. Car it's based on, yeah. How do you make your wife happy with those fingers? Oh my God, Vic. The funny part is that my mom might still be on the line. Like, she still might be watching without an account, like one of the, whatever, 31 of you. Oh, that is crazy. That is so funny. Oh, that is so funny. That is so funny. I should start reading the comments before I read it out loud, but I'm not there yet. I'm not fast enough, so I'm just reading the comments as you're writing them, which means, like, I just was reading it as Vic was... Oh, that is too funny. Okay. I've taken my car on the track a few times, but most recently, I just watch races on TV. I'm a huge F1 fan. Nice. I got into F1 initially. What am I crazy? What the? I am confused. Huh. What? What? Oh, that's why. I was... Wait, no. Something weird is going on. I am confused. Because when I get to a certain point, and when I get to a certain point with the screw, it keeps spinning, and I'm not sure why it's doing that. Oh yeah, okay, because I'm an idiot, and because I picked the wrong size bit. That's why it's doing that. I swear, guys, I've built many keyboards. I'm not new. This is not my first time. We need to make this stream as weird as possible if that's the case. Also, yoinky on my splinky. Yeah, thank you. Because I'm just going to read it. Big car guy, but I don't currently own a VW like my name indicates. Nice. I for a long time, I was a motorcycle guy, believe it or not. And when I was in San Francisco, I rode motorcycles, and I was a big fan. All right, I'm not going to make the same mistake again. We will not take the screwdriver apart or lose the bit, just in case we need to do things. Very quickly, guys, Dolch, is it light alphas, dark alphas, or standard? Just throw a couple votes in the chat, otherwise we'll go with standard. Used to drift on an amateur competition. Oh, that's pretty cool. I've had many Nissan 240SXs and Zs. I used to love those cars when I was younger. Those are very nice. More than half my life has been cars. Wow. Wild. I want to own a nice car, but if I have a fast car, I'll become a menace. So I used to do that. I used to, when I was young, I think I got like 5 or 6 tickets. I got my license revoked when I was in my teens because I used to drive so fast. And what killed it for me, and I would suggest none of you get into motorcycles. Motorcycles are what killed cars for me. Because once you experience that level of like everything that is a motorcycle, driving a car just stopped being fun. And so I basically just became a tame old 40-year-old whatever driver, because motorcycles are just like missiles around your crotch. Oh, I'm gonna get a Yuri CYL flare, do a build. Ooh, nice. That's how I felt during my first few streams too. Yeah, that's fun though. I swear, I usually know what I'm doing. Yeah. We'll see if it passes, or maybe I just become the local Twitch ditz that just like builds keyboards and chats a bunch and forgets stuff. Okay, 1, 2, 3 votes for standard. Standard it is. I kind of think that this board was made for Dolch. Because like I know Dolch is supposed to loud. I know Dolch is supposed to be the more retro kind of vibe or theme, but for me, I always like Dolch on more modern looking boards, like the Matrix boards. The Noose, for example, Dolch was on the Noose for a long time. It's actually both the KKB one and the MTNU Dolch that I have, they were both on the Noose for a very long time. So for me, this actually works out really well. Where did the music go? Did we lose the music? Okay. Nab is going to make me want to buy a Dolch. Actually, I like to pick accents first. Do we go blue or red? Blue, huh? I never go red. It's always blue for me. Red to match the backlight. Okay. Blue, blue, red. 2 blues, 1 red. Alright, blue it is. Sorry, V-dub. Yeah, another blue came in. Yeah, blue's taken over. Okay, now we're tied. Okay. Now we're tied. Why not both? I've never done both. I always pick one. Is both an option? Everyone needs at least one Dolch set. It's a rite of passage. I agree. Okay, you know what? We're going to skip the accents. Mikey, I don't know if you are able to do this. Would you mind doing a fast poll? Like a 1 minute quick poll for whoever's active. I don't know if you're at your desk. And if that's possible, it would be... Okay, you know, I've made this mistake before. We're going to do a quick alpha test, because if these switches do not hit for me, I don't want to put all the keycaps on and then have to rebuild it halfway through. Thank you, Mikey. Thank you so much. All right, hold on. Hold on. So I'll be honest, the Black Lotuses were never my favorite switches. I think it sounds okay just doing this little quick thing, but it does sound Black Lotus-y, and the Black Lotuses are not my favorites, but I think this works. So let's keep going, and then maybe we'll do a quick rebuild where we'll put Nixies on alphas if we actually do the type test and it doesn't work out. What I'll tell you now, though, is that I think the board itself actually, just with this little clickety-click, I think the board itself actually sounds decent. It's a tiny, tiny bit resonant, but I actually, personally, quite like a little bit of resonance. Yeah, this is good. Might be better with foam. Tad plasticky. Yeah, plasticky. You know what? Sorry, guys. I'm pulling an audible. I think I might have missed something. Wasn't the board win keyless? Yeah, removable lockers. Mr. Rotkiv got it. Okay. I want a fast decision. Otherwise, I'm going to go Nixies. You have 10 seconds, maybe 15, and then we're going to go Nixies. BCP is in use, unfortunately, so we cannot use BCP. We're also going to do this a little ghetto. Nixies cool. Done. When I am in a bit of a lazy mood and I don't want to do all the crazy work, closet of shame, that is my closet of pride, my friend. I am proud of what is in that closet. So the getaway is I just do one row at a time because I don't want to take the whole board apart. For anyone that is new to building boards, do not do this. Take the whole thing apart, use a plate fork. But if you know what you're doing and you check the pins and you know how to solder, this can be okay. Because the worst thing that can happen when you do this is that you pop out a hot swap socket behind the PCB. And then you need to be able to essentially have hot swap sockets, spares, which I do. And then you need to know how to solder. So you have to take the hot swap socket that popped off the PCB, and you have to solder a new hot swap socket in its place. I have popped hot swap sockets, and I have had to do that repair a handful of times. And so this, for me, is a relatively very low risk proposition, because the worst case scenario is one that I am prepared to fix. However, if you are not prepared to fix it, do not do this. The thing is, I think most of you already know that. I hope Nixies work, because otherwise I'll feel like an ass for requesting them. You know what? I think they're fine, because Vic is the one that suggested, like, you know what? To me, this is the fun of it, by the way. This is what I enjoy. I love this tinkering process, and I'll probably say this a lot on stream, but I think that every board has a sweet spot in terms of its configuration with keycaps and switches. I do not think there is one switch that works universally for all boards. And so this process of tinkering and figuring out how to make a board sound good and to my taste, I really, really enjoy. And so for me, a big part of the fun is the experimentation and the trying. So, you know, we tried the Black Lotus, and some of you might have really liked it. I didn't. And so now we're trying something else. And for me, this is fun. And if the Nixies don't work, it's not that big a deal. Maybe not today's stream, maybe another stream. We will try something else out. It's actually pretty fun. Red and blue accents were tied 2-2. You guys suck, you know that? Fine, we will use both. Tied, we use both. That's what that means. I'm kidding, by the way. You don't suck. I love you all. Thank you for being here. That one's not good. So the usual, we do the same thing. Nice. Always support them from the back. You're welcome for giving you a shit option. Easy. You know what? The Black Lotuses, I actually don't mind them. My only problem with them is that they just require, I feel like, a very specific board, at least for me, to make them sound good. I did have them in a foamed board that I thought was pretty good, and I actually put them in with carbon fiber plate. I forgot which board though. I put them in with a CF plate, and with a CF plate I actually liked it quite a bit. I think they're much better with foam. Yeah, I did try them with a foam board. With a foam board, they were quite good. Okay, before we go too far, let's just make sure this vibes. Okay, so personally, when I use Nixies, I like carbon fiber plates because I find Nixies a little bit too quiet. So if it was up to me, I would pull another audible and I would go grab some long poles. But if you guys like this, we will proceed. Sometimes, by the way, just the 3 is not enough to get the whole vibe. And I mean, I'm sure you guys know this, but I'll just say it to make sure it's said. Sometimes the 3 is not enough, and you really have to put them all in and do a full-on type test to actually get the full proper feel of the board. It does sound a little bit plasticky. What are the properties of Nixies? Is that a philosophical question, or is that a modded, how I modded the Nixies question? If it's how they were modded, these Nixies were purchased pre-modded. They're lubed, filmed, and spring swapped, and the springs are very light springs. They're like 45s or something like that. It's in the spreadsheet, but I just don't remember offhand. You know what? Let's keep going. I have a feeling this might actually work out when it's in a full board. I'm not sure if it will work out on the spacebar, but we will see. It goes up and down, and it makes some sound, and it creates an electrical connection. I'm a crazy person, and I never test the switches because I know my choices are the GOAT. So I do sometimes, so the way I typically do it when it's just me personally is I have a backlog of switches that I haven't tried yet, and I always work through my backlog first. And so I always fully build a board with a switch from the backlog, and then I live with it for at least a day or 2 or 3 and try it out and see how I like it. And if I don't like it, I will switch it and I will tinker and I will tinker until I get a config that I like. And so that's essentially been the process that I've been going on with the cursed frickin' matrix noose. Except it's been just rebuild after rebuild after rebuild after rebuild ad infinitum. Nixies carbon fiber plate is elite. That is like my favorite config for Nixies is Nixies and CF. These were in my F1 with a carbon fiber plate for a very, very long time. And it just really just sung for me. Got it. Nice. Okay. Trust, I'm definitely the GOAT. Go for this board so far, or should I go for this board so far, or should I get a noose? Are you asking me if it's this versus the noose? I would not get a noose. Oh, I would not get a noose. I mean, unless the deal that you're, unless the, it's just, here's the problem. The noose, I mean, look, if you want a board that looks good, that is cool, and that will look great on a display, then the noose is a viable choice. Because I do think it looks good, and I think the hinge mechanism is very, very cool. However, I have not been able to get that board sounding good. Without foam, it is just terrible. I've talked about this many, many times, but I think it is just straight up unusable without foam. And so far, I've tried the alu plate, I have tried a custom cut carbon fiber plate, and I recently got a PEI plate. And so I have rebuilt it many, 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 many times, and it just sounds terrible each time. So I am determined. It is on the backlog. We are going to rebuild it. We're going to rebuild it on stream as many times as it takes to get that thing sounding good enough. But so far, it has not made it for me. Now, with this board, as an example, we put the Black Lotuses in, and the Black Lotuses are actually, I think they sounded okay. Like, the board itself sounded fine. I think it was just the Black Lotuses were not to my taste. They're a bit finicky, the Black Lotuses, I think. Whereas with the noose, it wasn't the sound sick, like it wasn't the taste of the sound, if that makes sense, that was the problem. It was just the sound itself. Like, it's the combination of the PCB and the holes in it and blah, blah, blah. It's like a whole thing. Every time someone brings up noose, I get pulled into this whole trap and I go rant on it for a while. Yeah, if it's worth considering at both price points, this would be 200 EU and noose 460. Dude, not a chance. Honestly, not a chance. Vic loves it because Vic is into the aesthetics. Vic is into aesthetics and type feel. Those are her two main things. She does not like, or she likes, but she doesn't. Sound is much, much lower on her list of priorities, whereas for me, sound is number 1, aesthetics is number 2, and type feel is number 3. That's how I look at it. Alcyon Days. I want 1.5U blockers so I can build this with HHKB bottom row. Nothing on the market. Seems I need to print them. Wow. Yeah, you would need to print them. if you rewind the VOD and you go to the beginning of the stream, what you'll see is where the WinKey blocker is. You can't really make it out here, but there's a tiny little kind of indent for the little removable blockers to get screwed into the case. Part of me wonders is if you printed a part that would, if the dimensions were perfect, like really perfect, you could leverage the same mounting points for the Win keyless blocker, because it's kind of like down here on the side, and just kind of have it go to the side and act as an HHKB blocker. It would be complicated. Like, I have no idea how to do it, but I wonder if it's possible. It must be. I'm not sure what the news has, but Matrix obsession with skeleton plates and perky flex cuts deters me from it entirely. Yeah, so the noose was my first Matrix, and I think it'll be my last one. Just because that brand, I think, is mostly built for the Chinese market. It's not really made for us, I don't think. And what that means is that our preferences become, I think, afterthoughts. Not sure, but that's the assumption that I made. It's out of ignorance, but whatever. Matrix Lab is not my type of design. I prefer the sleeker, elegant design of the NV70. EJ, remind me, maybe towards the end of stream or like on Discord or something, I'll pull out the W70, the Keybay Tech 70% car themed board. Very, very cool. I think you'd love it. I can attest to the noose not hitting without foam. Even with it, I had a hard time settling on a config. Yeah. Hey Nav, I prioritize sound over aesthetics and feel. Thinking about getting a noose. What are you? Oh, you mother. I didn't fall for it. I say I didn't fall for it, and at the same time, immediately after reading Rufus's comment, the way that I'm pulling these switches out of the, like, I literally felt my motion get slightly more aggressive and the sound get a little bit poppier. So, like, I'm saying he didn't get to me, but then he got to me. It's kind of funny. I will stand my ground. Vic. It looks dope as hell, but the sound is incredibly average. No, I disagree. I think it looks dope as hell, and I think the sound is way below average, even with so, like, just to be clear, you did it again, motherfucker. The last few builds on my noose have been fully foamed builds. Even fully foamed, I have not been able to get it to a place where I've been happy with it. I consistently feel like something is missing with it, and I've said this before, and if I have to, I will tape mod that thing. I'm not actually joking. One of the things I was thinking about was potentially putting modeling clay, because I still have modeling clay from back in my Thok days, putting modeling clay inside the case, but we'll see. Any other board recommendations around this price quality point except the noose? Honestly, if you want a board recommendation, I don't think Stream is the right place to get it. And the reason I say that is because I think that, where is this? This goes here. I think that, no, I did not finish. The mic was blocking a bunch of switches, so we have more to go. I think that when it comes to recommendations, there's a lot of factors that come into play, which is your preference, the layout that you're looking for, the price point, what kind of design you like, what kind of sound you go for, how picky you are. There's like so much nuance to it. And I really, really, really think that the joy in the hobby is in the exploration and in the discovery. And because Mech Market exists, I actually don't know. Simple, if you're... first half was a serious question. Yeah, so... I don't actually know where you're based out of, because if you're in Europe, I don't know how good Mech Market is in Europe. But Mech Market is a great place to get boards that are quite a bit cheaper, and experiment with different things so you can figure out your preference. If you're looking at this price point, however, I don't think, if we're talking new, I don't actually think there's a whole lot of options. Like in this sort of value price range, there's the base from Keybay Tech. It's a 75%. It's priced pretty well. There's obviously the GDK boards. There's Daring Run. They did Polygon 7 and a few others, but they're not made new anymore, so you'd have to find them on Mech Market. There's obviously Neo, but I would assume I don't need to say Neo. Forgot about music again. But anyways, all this to say, I think Discord's the best place because it's easier to have a conversation about it. And I think on stream, at least for me, where I am today, there's so much going on that I'm trying to keep track of in terms of the build and chat and like forgetting about the music and all that. I'm a bit of a spaz, and so it's a bit difficult for me to focus in on one topic because then I have people like Vic and Rufus and like Mr. Rotkiv telling me to pull out the kinetic sand, and then I get distracted and go off on a tangent. So I actually think this looks pretty clean. Not that we're going to look at once the keycaps are on, but I think it looks clean. I'm actually excited. I have a feeling I'm going to like the Nixies. We'll see. Because like these builds, once you actually type on them all in, we have European Keyboard Club, at least where people buy and sell. Nice. Don't worry, Nav. We will make your news sound good. I get pulled so far behind on chat. Neo basically some QK stuff. Yeah, totally. Are we talking news price point or NV70? I think it was talking NV70 price point for the most part. Were you able to test the DK160? No, Alcyon. So I was actually very interested initially in the DK160 when I flying keycapped. I was initially very interested in it. However, unfortunately, the designers chose to work with Wuche Studio to run the board. And what that meant is that even though the board looked pretty cool, it was a 60% that ended up being more expensive than the TKL. And so that's one reason I did not get it for myself. Most of the boards, by the way, you see behind me, actually almost 99% of this is essentially my first sponsored board, right? The first board that I got for sponsorship on stream. All the other boards I pay for myself, and the DK160 I thought was just too expensive, which was the bigger problem. Like, I don't want to get the younger brother, the 60% of the TKL, and then have to pay more than the TKL. Now, I know you could argue that, like, it had the special flow colorway, but, like, come on, that's not... I don't buy that. And so I think what actually happened is that it was more expensive because of Wuche Studio, and there was a Wuche Studio tax. And they basically said, we are a big company, we charge more. Like, look, I'm guessing, right? I'm making a whole lot of assumptions, so I could be wildly wrong, and maybe there's some, like, real big reason about it. But hey, we're here to talk, and talking is fun. And so I think that Wuche Studio thought that they are Wuche Studio, and they can charge more because they want more. That's what I think happened. That's my guess. And so that's my number one reason for not buying it. My number two reason for not buying it is that it had split backspace, and it was forced split backspace. So here, obviously, again, for those that don't know, we have 2U backspace, so there's a stab here. Split is when there's, like, obviously 2 1U keys instead. And I am not a split backspace user. I'm a full backspace user. And so that was the second reason. However, even if there was full backspace, I would still not get the 60, and I think it's Wuche Studio's fault. Now, one thing I will say, and this is like maybe a bit of lore, is that I think the designers, since they're a relatively newer company, the KV1 was their first board that came out last year, I think they were still trying to figure out who the best partner was to do international group buys. And so the KV1, I forget who that was ran through. I forget. I think it was ClickClack. I don't remember. The DK1 was ran primarily through Metakeebs, and they were relatively new at the time. Metakeebs and Unikeys? I don't remember. This one, no, it was Metakeebs, I think, that was primarily organizing. Then it was the Wuche Studios behind the 60, and I think for this one, they're working directly with vendors. So it's Keybay for North America, and then the other regional vendors. Not sure. Man, I gotta stop yapping. Like, I keep falling behind. I say this now, but the switch color affects my builds. You know what's funny? I think there's quite a few of you out there that choose switches based on the color of the switches and the theme of the build. I think Finley does that too, by the way. Sergeant Finley, he themes his switches to the keycap build, and like when he goes to meetups, typically what he'll do is remove the WASD so he shows the switches behind it. I think it looks very cool. It's not my style, but I think it's very cool. Mech market is pretty empty in EU, unfortunately. Got a Mr. Suit Jelly Epoch. Oh, nice. Active group buys mostly 60s, and I regret not getting the secret. I think there's going to be extras for the secret. I don't know how many because there was a limit of 100 units, but I think there's going to be a few extras. You'd have to ask on Chester's on the Keybase server. I do have... Yeah, Dream Girly. I remember you got a special flow DK1. I remember, though, you had a couple small things with it. I just don't remember exactly what. I think it was stab issues, maybe. Yeah, it was unfortunate. Wuche ran it, ordered 1 dark gold and titanium grade, got 2 dark gold. Wow. To be fair, it was like 100. Oh! So, Mikey, are you saying that the DK160, the 60 straight up was $100 more expensive? Oh, no, you're saying it was 100 more expensive than China. Okay, I get it. Which makes it a fair guess because the NV70 is super close to the China price. Interesting, yeah. Split backspace better than full. I'll die on this hill. Okay, so if we're coming at it from a pure features and functions perspective, then objectively you are obviously correct because split backspace gives you an extra key. By that logic, WinKey would be better than WinKeyless, wouldn't it? Interesting. Isn't that interesting? I got the flow, dark blue with brass bottom and lane switches. Yeah, it's pretty good. Insert, where's my home? Did I lose my home? Did I? There it is. WinKey is better. Ooh, we got a WinKey lover. I like that. Where's delete? Wait, it's not delete, it's page up. There it is. Wait, no, that's the wrong one. Where's my R1? I misplaced R1 page up. Apparently my badge is incorrect. Oh, you got the incorrect badge. Interesting. Okay. Page up. There it is. Alright, since we're here and we had a split vote, we are going to go red on enter. Nice. And blue on escape. The pipe key is useless 90% of the time and is way too prominent. Having backspace above the enter key is more ergonomic, therefore better. Yeah, I get it. Actually, I do legit get the argument. My main problem is more from like a skill habit perspective that I think is just it's tough for me to get used to personally. Anytime I've tried split, it's just not worked out for me. It's been a little bit too much. So because you guys were not able to decide and we had a split vote, we're going to do split accents. This is what it is. Okay. Let's keep going. I like WinKey 60 more than WinKeyless, but I like WinKeyless TKLs more than WinKey T. You know what? Someone else, I forget who it was. Maybe it was Shark. I don't remember. Someone else in chat earlier said the same thing. You know what? I'm actually thinking that the Nixies are going to work on this. I wish I had a carbon fiber plate, because carbon fiber and Nixies is just like brain crack for me. I can't get enough of it. One thing to note in general for GDK boards is the fact that they focus first on outer design and layout before they do internal acoustics. Interesting. I don't quite know why the two are mutually exclusive for so many people, though, for so many developers, designers. One day I will educate myself and learn more about how the outer... What the heck is that? 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 What the heck We'll have to fiddle with this later. Agreed. Also, force break mod is kind of necessary. That's too bad. I think for the next board, they're looking to better internal acoustics. Honestly, this one so far seems fine. We'll see how it turns out, but so far I'm behind it. Why are you being stubborn? Hey, what is this? Why is this not? Oh, there we go. Ooh, okay. Hold on. Hold on. I like it. Oh, I really like that. I love that sound. Ah, I forgot music. Okay. I love that sound. That was a great sound. I'm a fan. Have you tried Bowls Manta 65? I have not. I have not seen it at a meetup because it's not out yet. I think Alex brought it to the Toronto meetup, but I wasn't able to make it. So no, unfortunately I have not seen it. And when that was running, I was unfortunately unemployed, and so I was not able to join the group buy. What I ended up doing, because I got a job shortly after, is I got the oblique as a consolation prize. So I do have an oblique. And by the way, okay, I'm not sure about the freaking choice on the accents. I'm not sold on that, but I think the Dolce choice really works. You guys did good. That was pretty good. For example, the NV70 mounts sound aren't as great as, say, Neo because of how they focus on the design mostly. They made it very specific to the outer design they wanted, which they could have, for example, changed the internal layout a bit, increase the depth, and allow for more vibration of the sound. I'm actually, you know what? I'm not sure. Because I like a bit of resonance, and I think, I don't know. I personally like a bit of resonance. I think it's quite nice. And one of the problems that I saw with the Sterling Tofu 60 stream is that honestly, I kind of like these Nixies. It's grown on me. I think it's going to work. We'll see, but I think it'll work. Page up, page down. That's not right. I've said this before, but the way that some of these streamers are able to just like massively eyeball and pick out exactly the right key, like from a freaking bag situation, is super impressive to me. All right, up, down. There we go. Okay, we're good. The Dolce choice is a banger. I agree. What can I say? I have good taste. Yeah, this is working for me. Like, this is really working for me. Like, yo, this looks really nice. Okay, before we continue, I'm gonna have to lube. Okay. So we got a little bit of ticking on the shift, and I want to just get a little bit of dielectric in there. Okay, that should work. This is just a little syringe of dielectric grease that I just keep on hand for situations like this. Super good. I think I should have tuned the wire. It's good enough. Deal with it later. So what Nav is saying is that I should get the Dolce. The Dolce is really good, dude. It's very, very good. I honestly think Dolce is one of those like staples that everyone, I don't know, whatever, you buy within your budget, right? But like it works on so many things and it looks so clean. However, Nichiren, which is coming out, KKB Nichiren, I think does a similar thing. It's a similar-ish kind of gray. have. What do you think of C-Win keyless layouts? Not for me. It's not for me. Because I think with C-Win keyless you're forced into 6.25 view. Oh, I mean here, right? VDub. Oh, where's the tilde? Tilde is typically here, right? And the alpha. You know what? The alpha pipe is throwing me off too. Let's do that. Does this set come with? No, it doesn't. I don't actually think we can change it. Yeah, I think yeah, this is what it is. Alpha pipe, we're locked. Right? Right. Yep. That's what it is. Okay. Are those plate-mounted stabs? They are plate-mounted stabs. There's two plates that you can get with this board. There's a default plate and the extended plate. The default plate, where did I put? The default plate is with plate-mounted stabs only, and the extended plate is with PCB stabs. I don't have the extended plate yet. I have the default plate. All right, let's do USB mode is function T. Function T. That's not working. What am I missing? This is function. Oh, there we go. We're working. Awesome. All right, we are up and running. Yeah, you're forced into 6. So just because you're forced into 6.25, Vic, I don't think I would do C-Win keyless. I'm not the biggest fan of the aesthetic, but I just straight up like the sound of 7U better. Yeah, forced alpha pipe. It's KKB Dolch. It is what it is. No alpha pipe base. Alpha pipe is fine when there's no matching tilde. It's funky. Wait, EQ. When did you spawn in? Yeah, Elquan's been here for a minute. All right, this is where we're at. Okay, we have KKB Dolch. We're using split accents because the vote was 50-50 split on the keycaps. This is with the SS Machine Mark Weight Anno Gray. We are rocking modded Nixies, and we're going to do the sound test. Where did you go? There you are. Okay. Ooh. All right, guys. Here we go. Oh, I like this. I like this. Oh, I like it. Do you guys mind if I do one more type test? Is that cool? Can I do one more? Whatever, you're too slow. I'm going to do one more. Okay, hold on. Wait. Ah! We're getting comfy. I want to do this proper. Sorry for the noise. I didn't think about that. Okay, one more time. One more time. Let's get comfy. Wait. Oh, okay. I'm making mistakes. It's fine. I love it. I love it. I gotta go soon. Hope you have a good rest. Thanks for stopping by, Vic. I really appreciate it. Maybe you should try a clocky switch. I'm down. Sorry, Alquan, there's no build command. We decided the build on stream. We all voted for the keycaps and the switches. It's modded Nixies, NV70, plate-mounted gaskets, plate-mounted stabs with KKB Dolch. I'm pretty damn happy with that. I honestly, I want to. So my wife and I quit smoking together, and that was the vibe. That was the vibe. What makes you love the board? So, for me, the number one is sound. If the board sounds good, there is a good chance that... You know what? Let me rephrase. For me, the prerequisite is the aesthetic, meaning that in order for me to even consider getting a board, I have to like the way that it looks. If I don't like the way that it looks, it doesn't matter how good it sounds. That doesn't mean that the look is the most important to me. The sound is the most important. It just means that the looks are the table stakes. So either you like it or you don't. It's a pass-fail. The sound, however, is what makes me love a board. It's not the feel, it is the sound. When you're typing on it, like, and I use my boards for work mostly, when it's satisfying to type on, it makes the process of work better. I enjoy working more. I enjoy being at whatever, right? So, like, for me, it is sound that is the number one. And okay, look, I'm going to do rebuilds on this. I'm going to try other switches. For sure, I'm going to try other switches. I'll add it to the backlog. We'll make it an unscheduled stream during the week. Whoever can stop by can stop by. But as it is now, I really, really like the sound. The only thing that I think I can be critical on, and I actually saw a comment on this. I'll take a look at the PCB and see if there was a switch to turn it off. If there's no switch, that's a little bit annoying. I like to have a physical switch to turn off the board to save battery. The KV1, by the way, did not have a switch. It just goes into sleep mode. So that's annoying. And the only other annoying point is the non-magnetic screws. For me, those are the two more annoying points. But like other than that, I think it sounds pretty damn good. One thing to note, by the way, is that Mikey, like, depending on the mount that you use, you'll get different performance, right? So, like, what Mikey found out is that the sound on the PCB mounted, the PCB mount was, like, slightly different. So you'll have to tinker. Clacky long pole could also be fun. I like the Nixies. Honestly, dude, I really like the Nixies. I want to do another sound test. I'm just going to catch up on chat, and then I want to do one more. I really enjoyed it. I was hoping this sounded ass so I could skip it because I got dude, I bought the Tofu 65 literally today, by the way, literally today. I posted up my config on my Discord, but I got it today. It does look cooler than the Tofu. That I will give you. Been lurking through the entire stream, but appreciate the clackiness of this one. Thanks for streaming. Catch y'all next time. Thanks, Highflow. Good to have you. Yeah, no switch. Interesting. For me, it's looks, feel, and then sound. So you're similar to Vic. Vic is looks, feel, and then sound. No switch. That sucks. Yeah. I mean, Mikey has the board too. He did a stream on it last week, and his video came out on Sunday as well. So Mikey would know. Let's take a look at it one more time. So I do really like this style of design. like this more sort of industrial mechanical type design, I'm a big fan. Side profile looks great. This back accent looks pretty sweet. And I think if I dim the lights and turn everything off, I think this will look pretty cool at night, like splashing out on the desk. That looks pretty neat. Yeah, I'm a fan. I'm a big fan. No switch, that sucks. Yeah, it's too bad. The other one had the 65 also just fell asleep. No switch. Drop the link to sound test, including DK160 and self-promo channel. Thank you very much. I'll take a look. Oh, Nav, that's the version before the change. Oh, do you mean like the back weight? Like it's like... Yeah, I actually noticed that on the page, that the weight looked a little bit different, I think. Is that it? Let me check. Where's the weight? Actually, no, it looks the same. The weight looks the same. What change? I don't know what change. The new one has no writing. Ah, okay. Got it. Okay, so this must be one of the ones from the China group by then. Then you must have one of the later ones. Okay, interesting. Okay. I didn't know that. Nice. Okay. Let's do one more type test because I really enjoyed it. Hold on. Okay, where is it? One more. I need to take a look. I wonder if the switches are not seated properly here. The space bar is just hitting it for me. I like it. I like it quite honestly. I like it quite a bit. How's the sound on the right side with the screwed in accent piece? So here it's okay. Here it's fine too. Specifically here. Actually, hold on. I think it's okay. I'm not sure. I don't even know if I'm crazy or not. Like, I don't know if do you guys hear that? Like, I don't know if it's just me. I wonder what's going on with this. I wonder if it's just a switch or sometimes you get wonky switches. I hear it on the page down. Yeah, me too. I wonder what the deal is. Did you, Mikey, did you have a... For being cherries sounds good. Will sound even better with long poles in half a year when I get mine. I don't think it'll take half a year. I have a feeling that they learned from their mistakes because like these guys have been improving their designs pretty quickly. I don't think it'll take that long. I think Chester on Keybay, his estimate was sometime in Q2, which means that if we're February now, then best case scenario it's like 3 months. I think it'll be like 4 or 5 months. 4 to 5. I think they learned quite a bit, but we'll see. You're right. I mean, who knows? Could be 6. Okay, I think it might have been the switch. Maybe the switch just wasn't seated properly. This is better, right? Yeah, I think it's better. Yeah. I'm pretty happy with this. This is pretty cool. The only thing that I think time will tell is the exploded top row, right? Like I don't know. Will it even bother me? Like, I think it'll be fine for me. Time will tell. After I use this for a couple days, I'll put something in the Discord if you guys are curious, in the channel for this board. But I think it'll be fine. For me, at least. I have bigger hands, so I think it'll be all right. It will bother you, but you'll get used to it after like 3 days. Interesting. Sometimes switches are hit and miss too. Thrown out a couple in my life that weren't consistent with the right. Yeah, sometimes you can get weirdness with switches. And sometimes you just, don't click it in properly. I don't know. Like, sometimes weird stuff happens and you just kind of tinker with it and it gets better. And sometimes it's like an actual problem. One thing, guys, I am very impressed by, and I was not expecting it to be this good, is the spacebar. I didn't think the spacebar would be bad, but like this spacebar just... Like, this for me is like one of the all-time spacebar sounds. I love this sound. Like, this is a clean... I love it. I love it. Yeah, it sounds real good. Was a little scared when I heard the Nesson design board, and it did the same thing with the metal cover, and it sounded bad. Dude, the Nesson board was a real disappointment for me. I was really looking forward to it. But get an HMX Lunar Stone for spacebar. Thank me later. I'm going to do a long pole build, so this is full travels. And when I do full travel, I like to go all full travel. I think the discrepancy is a little bit too much if you go full travel on everything else, and then... a long pole on the spacebar, but I'll do a clacky build on a rebuild later in the week. We can try something else. The Noritech, the Noritech, that's the one. So the Nesson Noritech, I think the group buy finished. I don't think it's still going. Maybe it is. I don't know. You'd have to check. But that board. I was very excited for it initially. But there were a couple things that I wasn't a huge fan of. One is the Force 6.25U. What I've gotten used to in my layout is the 7U layout. That's just what I'm used to, right? So this config of keys, that's just what I've gotten used to. And I also prefer sound on the 7U spacebar. So that's one thing I wasn't a huge fan of. Now, the exploded spacebar means that typically it's not much of a problem. I don't exactly understand the whatevers of it, but like the spacebar on the Nesson sounded okay. It's just I prefer the layout of 7. So that's one. The two is the cable on the back. I have fairly strong opinions about this, and I've had a lot of friendly arguments on Discord about it, but for me, it's somewhat of a deal breaker. I run one cable, and I don't want to. Well, that's not entirely true, actually. I run 2-3 cables, right? But I don't want to run a whole new cable specifically for one board out of a much larger, collection. And it's just the back connector being a Limo connector was a bit of a miss for me, and then the sound was inconsistent. And so you have all these points that kind of add up. EJ, thank you for the reminder. I'll grab it now. So all those points kind of add up, which made it a not buy for me. And this is a lesson that I learned from the Noose. When you're buying a board at that price point, everything should add up for you. For this board, right? This price point, like whatever, under $200, right? I'm fine with misses. It's not a big deal. There can be little things here. It doesn't have to be perfect. Like, okay, no magnetic screws. Like, whatever, fine. The price point is great. And guess what? It looks awesome and it sounds great. I love it, right? Once you start going into the $450, $400, $450, $500 range, I just don't have tolerance for these little stupidities anymore. Like, and you know what? Calling the Limo connector a stupidity might not be fair. Like, some people like it, and that's fine. Like, this is all preference. You're allowed to like different things, whatever. It's totally fine. But for me, it's a point against, not a point for. And then the layout thing is a point against and not a point for. And then the sound being inconsistent, a point against and not a point for. And so like I don't hate on them or any of, like, we're all people, it's just keyboards, it's not a big deal. But for me, I just don't want to pay that much money and have all those misses for me on a keyboard. that expensive needs less misses. Okay. Okay, EJ, as requested. Whew. This is the W70. Now, there is a bit of story behind this board. I joined the hobby after this board ran. So I joined the enthusiast side of the hobby around the time this board was fulfilling from group buy. I didn't even know this board existed. And, you know, I got my, whatever, a couple months later, I realized, hey, this board existed, and it is so cool. And I really, really wanted one. And I didn't know what I could do about it. And then I learned from Finley that Chester, the owner of Keybay, is a very nice guy. And message him. See what he can do for you. And so I message Chester, and I say, and by this time, like, I've been around on the server, like, I'm not a stranger, right? Like, he knows me a little bit. This was mid last year, early last year, right? And I said, hey, Chester, do you have any more? Is there any chance I could get one? And I thought it was a long shot. And he says, you know what? I do have 2 left. I have 2 W70s left. However, the problem, depending on how you look at it, is that they're not from the standard run. They are both 1-of-1s. The standard run was all coded. There is only 2 anodized W70s in existence. I have 1. And I'm proud of this, right? This is like one of my very, very few 1-of-1 boards, so I can, you know, brag a little bit. Hope you'll forgive me. And he said there's 2 of them, and he sent me pictures, and he said, which one do you want? And so there was this one, which is the an anodized Mecha Purple W70 with the green accents on the top. And the one that he has, the other one, is also anodized Mecha Purple with orange accents. Those are the differences. So this is the back. I think his also has a slightly different weight on the back. Mine has ano green. I think his has copper. I don't remember the exact difference, right? So this is the back. I have bump-on mods. That's cool. Oh, and then the only other thing is the back. And this is the very, very, very cool part about the board. So I will plug it in, and you will see what I'm talking about. Okay, chill. I'm so sad I missed the W70. Yes, sir. That's what it is. Like, this is mega bright. And when you're gaming or whatever, and the lights are off, and this thing is on your desk, the whole kind of back side of your desk just kind of lights up. It is very, very cool. Can you change the color? Yes, you can change the color. There's like a bunch of different settings. I don't remember exactly. Oh, there we go. So you see I'm pressing, like, the order's changing, and like there's different light settings. There's one that also is just straight up like a car turning on. Like, it's a little animation that's like a car turning on, but I don't remember how to access it. It's in the instructions, and I'm too lazy to go look it up. But yeah, it's pretty cool. And it actually sounds very, very good too. Here, let's just do just because that's what we're here for. Plasticky, but I like this, right? That's the W70. This is a solder PCB 1.6 mil with W1 diamonds. Dude, swap Shinseki for Mecha01 and it would be perfect. This was actually the first brand new GMK set that I ever bought. I'd only bought used before, and I got it off a Novel Keys sale. Mecha01 I haven't been able to find on sale. But if I do, I'll consider it. Dude, I would leave them on solid green for this build. It's gorgeous. Yeah, it's really pretty. I like it. Honestly, this one, it's a lot of fun. The one thing that some people might not like is that it is definitely a little bit higher in terms of front height, which probably you can tell if I do a quick side to side. Now, for me, I actually find it quite comfortable. Like, I enjoy boards with slightly higher front heights. I don't know if you can make this out, but it's definitely taller, like noticeably a bit thicker in the front. For me, I enjoy it. I like that. Because like the way that I type, my hands float a bit higher, so for me it works out. But maybe it might not be for you on the front height. Everyone here made me buy the Dolce, and I also ordered the KKB purple ones that came out. Wow. Yeah, the Shi keycaps, those looked very cool. They came out like yesterday, I think, on Unikeys. It was on sale on drop for Black Friday. Now it's out of stock. Oh, too bad. Do you have HMX Valerian or Hydra somewhere to test just a couple keys? I do. I do. Are they in use? I know, I do have enough extras. I need to find them. Give me a second, I'll find them and I'll do it. Hold on, I'm going to send you a Mecha 01 build I built for a friend on Discord. Yeah, throw the picture in Discord. I'll take a look. Valerians? I think Hydras are here. All right. Okay, I think that's it. I've missed quite a few follows. VDub, Silly Mellow, Alcyon, Yaminu, and Rue MC. Thank you guys, appreciate it. I'm still somewhat new to this. Technically today is my 1 week anniversary. So today is my completion of my first full week streaming. For those of you that have been around, I really appreciate you joining me on this journey. It's been a lot of fun. And let's put this in, and then after this is being a little stubborn. We'll close things up and give someone a raid. Do you guys know if someone wants to check if there's any keyboard streamers online for us to give a raid out after we do this test? These Valerians are being a little stubborn, huh? They're a little bit tight on the plate. Oh, there we go. Ruben is online. I don't think I have Ruben. Do I have Ruben? Ruben A. Cross Keys. Okay. Nice. We'll give Ruben a raid. Okay. Okay, so starting from the left, we have 3 Valerian, 3 Hydra, and then 3 Nixies. Hi, Nevi, joining late, just woke up. Hey, Fetty, thanks for joining. Sorry. Valerians. Hydras. Nixies. All right, one more time. Valerians. Hydras. Nixies. I'm with Keep Dweeb. It's the Nixies for me. Big time. Big time. You know what's so funny is that when we first put the Nixies in and I just did the 3, I don't know why, but I was a little bit worried, and I don't know why I was worried. Because when the whole board is Nixies, it works so well. I don't mind the Hydras. I'm not, honestly, I think for me the Hydras are my least favorite out of the 3. I'll tell you why. The Hydras, I think, are the simplest in sound. They're fairly, it feels somewhat two-dimensional to me. Whereas the Valerians have a bit of like a 3-dimension, like there's character to the sound. And then the Nixies are just wonderful. Yeah, I think this board is not for high-pitched tactiles. Possible. It's possible that you're right. I do want to try, I have a set of Sunset Gleam V2s that are really bright and they've gotten pretty good reviews. I want to try the Sunset Gleams V2s and see how it does, because I'm sure we can make a high-pitched long pole work with this. But dude, the Nixies are a clear winner for me. I'm very, very impressed. Tactile clack doesn't work well for the NV70 in my opinion, from what I've tested as well. Interesting. I wonder why. I wonder how, one thing maybe to try is to put, because I have MTNU Dulce that is not in use. It's not in use. So what we could do for a rebuild is try some high-pitched long poles with MTNU Dulce. So that could work. All right, guys. It's getting a little late. Oh, wow. 3 hours. Okay, so this is the longest stream to date. Thank you guys so much for hanging around. Let me find out the person. Who is this person? Who is... Oh, okay, I lost Mango's comment. Where is it? Mango. Ruben. Okay. Guys, thank you so much for stopping by and spending time with me and hanging out. It means a lot, and I'm not going to lie, this has been so much fun. Just like hanging out with you guys and like building these boards, making these decisions together, like tinkering and trying all these switches. I've said it before, I'm going to say it probably every time, that I really, really like this process. It's like, it's so fun for me. Now, let me put this in, and then we'll give Ruben a raid. I keep losing where it is. Ruben A. Cross Keys. All right, Ruben, let's go say hi. All right, guys, have an amazing weekend, and we will see you soon. Ruben looks fun. Oh, he has a nice board. Nice, let's do it.